can I take something out for you?
1983 was the year where movies, TV, toys, and video games all lined up and said, let's make this unforgettable. Looking back, it feels like everything we touched that year either turned into a classic or a legend. 1983's lineup was a mixtape with something for everyone. Strange Brew gave us Doug and Bob McKenzie, two brothers who turned beer, hockey, and sang "Hey" into high art. You didn't just watch it, you quoted it endlessly.
Oh, you farted. No, it wasn't me. It was the chair, eh? He's lying. Check the machine.
He's lying, all right.
I don't need no machine to tell me that, eh? I didn't do it, I swear.
Then there was Risky Business, where Tom Cruise slid across the living room floor in his underwear, and that somehow became one of the most iconic moments in movie history. Every single one of us tried to do that at least once and nearly broke our ankle. And then came Return of the Jedi. The finale of the original Star Wars trilogy wasn't just a movie, it was an event. Lightsabers, Ewoks, Jabba the Hutt, and Vader's redemption. You walked out of the theater convinced you had just witnessed the future of storytelling. Half of us were Ewoks, the other half were Jedi, and if you were unlucky, you got stuck pretending to be Jabba. Bad Boys showed up with Sean Penn proving that prison life was no joke. Gritty and raw in a way that the rest of Hollywood wasn't ready for. Meanwhile, the man with two brains gave us Steve Martin being brilliantly absurd, showing us that you could still fall in love even if your significant other lived in a jar.
Into the mud, scum queen!
War Games. That was the movie that made us all think our home computers could accidentally start World War III if we typed in the wrong command. Shall we play a game? Wasn't just a line, it was a warning. Now TV in 1983, absolute fire. The A-Team showed up and suddenly everyone wanted to drive a van with a red stripe down the side. Mr. T was handing out beatdowns, gold chains, and catchphrases like it was a second language. A pity the fool became so universal you'd hear your uncle say it at cookouts. On the toy shelves, 1983 had one star above the rest. The Return of the Jedi speeder bike. If you had one of those, you instantly became the most popular person on the block. That thing actually exploded when you pressed a button. It didn't matter how many times you rebuilt it. That bike was doomed to blow apart again, and it was always awesome. Action figures were fine, but if you had the speeder bike, you weren't just playing Star Wars, you were Star Wars. Video games gave us one that defined the decade, Mario Brothers. The game that introduced us to two plumbers who weren't just saving pipes, they were saving culture. Jumping on turtles, flipping crabs, clearing sewers. It sounds crazy, but it felt revolutionary. This was the beginning of something much bigger, even if we didn't know it yet. And the overall feeling of 1983, it was energy and invention everywhere you looked. We were quoting Strange Brew in bad Canadian accents, sliding across floors in socks thanks to Tom Cruise, and debating whether or not Ewoks were cute or annoying. Saturday mornings were for Mr. Wizard, afternoons for the A-Team, and evenings for sneaking in another round of Mario Brothers. Every living room had a Rubik's Cube sitting halfway solved, every toy box had at least one broken speeder bike, and every arcade echoed with the sound of 8-bit glory. Looking back, 1983 wasn't just about what we watched, played, or collected. It was about how it made us feel, like we were a part of something brand new, like pop culture was growing up alongside us. And that's why 1983 wasn't just another stop in the 80s, it was the best year ever.
It was a dream. I dreamt the whole thing.
You're a dead man, Valentine!